Hi. So I only have one social networking activity page, and that's Facebook. And I have an Instagram because I have a smartphone, but that's about it. And the negative impacts it can have on my life is if a bad picture got out on me, and I mean in the sense that like if there was a picture of me with substances in the background or like people I'm with like drinking or something like that, if that got on Facebook, I get like searched all the time by my coaches and everything, then it could really affect my athletic scholarship, and like I have to be really careful about that. So I always make sure when I'm with people or whatever, like I don't get in pictures like that, or if people are taking pictures that are like around me, like I'll kind of like step back, or I'll tell them like don't put them on like Facebook if I'm in it and there's alcohol in the background, or if there's anything like that around me, because even if I'm not doing anything, it still looks bad and it can still be used against me. And that's just like stupid nonsense that I don't really need. So that's one of the negative impacts. And another one is I really didn't have a Facebook until this class, and I don't have a Twitter or anything like that. And I like it that way. People see what they want about me. People know what they want about me when they see it in person. I give the impressions that I give straight up to your face, period. And it's that simple. So I know kind of like what they think and how they can feel about something, because like it's happening face to face. I can see their reaction, they can see what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, so nothing gets taken the wrong way. And I like that. This way, it's not that I don't have as much secrets, but it's just that my life's a little bit more like out there for people. And I like people knowing what I want them to know, and that's it. Like it's just like a security. It's not that I have a lot to hide. It's just like I like knowing what people know about me, period. Like, but I haven't had anything bad happen yet. But the positive impact is that like because all my friends are all over the place, and I have family back home, and I have family like down south and everything and up north, it's convenient because instead of picking up the phone, which really isn't that hard, having a phone call sometimes is a little inconvenient. Like we might not be at this, like I might be busy when they're not, and then they might be busy when I'm not. So instead, like it's just like write a message on Facebook or like a picture, like look to see what they're up to, and then they get back to you when they're ready. And it's just like it's a little bit easier and more convenient to have it when it comes to keeping in touch with people, because we all live different lives now and we're all over the place. So it's easier in that fight. That's like the biggest benefit I can think of. And then of course there are the negatives, because like if there was a creep or something like that, like those people that like Criminal Minds and Law and Order is like based upon. But besides that, like I have two examples actually of like friends that have situations like this. And the one actually just happened recently. It was because one of the kids on my team liked a Facebook relationship status, and the other person on my team, the girl on my team, didn't like the relationship, so they didn't talk for about a week. And the kid lived with the kid, so of course, like it wasn't like he was picking sides, like it's just kind of like respect, like he lives down the hall from him. And they didn't talk for about a week, and then everything got dramatic, and the team got awkward, and it was just like a whole bunch of stuff. And they wouldn't talk to friends of the guy, and he wouldn't talk to friends of the girl, because it was just like uncomfortable, and people were picking sides, and it was just unnecessary. And then I didn't know what was going on the whole week, but then I found out like 2 days before it resolved, and I just was like taken back. Like, I don't know, I thought that was kind of ridiculous. But another one is that this kid who I went to middle school with kind of was like a target to get bullied, and he got bullied a lot. And people back then, Formspring was like really, really popular, and people would write on his Formspring and like post things on his Facebook and write on pictures and everything, and just like they would use what other people would write, even if they didn't write anything bad, and they would use that as ammo to kind of attack the kid. And they would bully him so bad for years, and he never got the hint, get off Facebook, get off Formspring, so you don't have to read and see all these things. But he stayed on. And I think he's still to this day kind of dealing with everything that happened. Like, he had a lot of emotional and mental distress, like, come onto him from it all. And it was just a whole big situation and a whole lot of bad feelings, and that caused a long-term effect on him that could have been avoided if he didn't have this. Because realistically, people are not coming up to your face anymore. They don't do that. They hide behind the computer screen and say what they say to the keyboard rather than coming to your face. So he probably wouldn't have heard half the stuff he heard. He wouldn't have had, probably, I can almost guarantee, like the emotional damage would not have been that bad at all if he didn't have those. So that's one really big example of why I didn't want a Facebook. Like once I saw this happening, that helped me keep off. But I don't know, it can be a benefit for my future, and when I have a family and then all my new friends that I make at college, like we all go our own ways and we live separate lives, and it could benefit me in that sense to keep in touch and everything. And that's like the only really benefit I can think of. The only other negative is if something did happen in the future with a picture, or I got drama with friends or something like that. That's the only really negative I can see happening in my future. But besides that, like, social networking isn't really a big aspect of my life, and I like it that way. But so far, I haven't had really any issues, and I think the negatives and the disadvantages are preventable. So as long as you're careful, as long as I'm careful, then everything will be okay. But that's pretty much it. Okay.